Welcome everyone to session 3, the reward of outrageous customer service. Tonight I'm using my beautiful transformation oil because I think we really have to transform our minds when we're thinking of what do we do to provide outrageous customer service. We need a transformation, don't we? So choose your favorite oil, but at some point I would encourage you to try the beautiful transformation oil. It has a number of the oils that are so good for our brain function, and so I think you will enjoy that as well. I hope we all aspire to amaze our organizations with outrageous personalized service. When we choose to serve people well, it will reward you with the longevity of loyal customers, which gives you time to live the extraordinary life that we've been talking about. So welcome. Let's take a couple of minutes to do a very quick review. One thing that I hope all of you take away is the importance of balancing 3 parts in order to achieve optimal growth of your organization. Do you remember what those are? Enrolling, which is sharing and listening. Follow-up, your outrageous customer service, which we're going to talk about tonight. That's where communication and listening is so important. And the third one is being able to teach others to do the same. Part 3 is equipping others. That's where leadership comes in. And that's where you're going to experience the most amazing exponential growth is as soon as you begin equipping other people to do the same. We looked at the entrepreneurial concept of sowing and reaping. What are the 3 parts to growing a successful crop? Well, let's take a look and compare that to business. The first part of farming or business is to sow more than enough seeds. And you do that consistently and intentionally, daily and weekly. Now, what do you suppose is the second and most necessary part of growing a successful crop or business in order to reap that excellent harvest we're expecting? Can you think what that would be? Cultivating. If we plant the seed, we can't just sit there and expect an amazing harvest without doing all the nurturing in the middle. Cultivating. We've got to keep the weeds out. We've got to nurture those growing little seeds. And we have to water and provide the exact climate and control factors and get that cultivation going with our organizations. So session 3 tonight is all about cultivating, providing that outrageous customer service. And so our intention of this lesson is to focus on those elements that we can cultivate and create value for those people in our organizations. So let's look at vision. Remember last week we talked about what vision was? And as a leader, our job is to look into the future and to see our organizations not as they are, but what they can be. And that's what a farmer does. He plants that seed and he sees the vision of the harvest. That's why he keeps farming every year, putting the new seed in, because you reap what you sow. Outrageous customer service is the key to the longevity of your organization. Now let's look at tradition. Scenario 1. We go to school, we get a great job, we earn a great salary, we may even get a yearly raise. We may get a bonus at the end of the year. We pay our taxes, we budget, and we live within our means. And so 2 plus 2 equals 4. Well, let's look at scenario 2. With Young Living, we begin a great business. We get immediate tax benefits that we haven't experienced as an employee, which saves us thousands, literally. We keep our working income all the while we are building a lucrative portfolio option for our very near future. We build extra for supplementing our budget presently, all the while building a compounding investment for a replaced income in a few years. We pay our taxes, we have extra to budget, and we begin to plan possibilities. We have purpose in our lives, and our portfolio begins to grow. It starts to look like 2 plus 2 will soon equal 10. Success happens when applying the principles consistently, then practicing and adjusting until you develop your own rhythm. Those individuals are the ones who begin to live a new paradigm. Can I really make a living at this? Many of you are asking. Well, let's connect the definition of vision with the example of the penny to explain. Sometimes people evaluate their results based on their experience of working income. Do you remember when we did that in session 1, the difference between working income and leveraged income? So as people evaluate their results based on a working income, they think after a few tries, gee, can I really make a living at this? Young Living really isn't paying for itself yet. It's not equaling the time that I'm putting into this. So let's use the penny concept to explain the vision of what your organization will become, and that the time and commitment you are putting in definitely isn't equaling yet, but that compounding effect will take over, and watch what happens. Let's pretend now I offer you a guaranteed $1 million a day, or excuse me, $1 million, or I guarantee you a penny, which will double every day for 30 days. Which would you choose? Well, most of you on the call tonight would choose the penny. Why? Because you understand the value of the compounding power. But many people would take the guarantee of the $1 million because they don't understand the power of compounding. So let's take a look at how this works with Young Living. Day 1, we have a penny. And we work hard and we go about our day and we shine it up and we talk to it and we do all those things. And the next day it doubles. And the day after that it doubles. And so by day 5, it is now worth 16 cents. Well, it's not very impressive. It's really not paying for itself. It's kind of hard to see the vision yet, and it certainly isn't equaling the time that I'm putting in polishing and talking to it and all of that. So let's move on. We double it again and double it again. And day 10, we're looking at senior star level here, and yeah, we're making a little supplemental income. Not real impressive yet. I've been working really hard. Now I have several pennies to polish, but it's not really equaling what I want it to be yet. Well, that keeps doubling, and by day 15, we have $163. And so as a senior star, we're not really too impressed by that whole thing yet, are we? Now that penny keeps doubling, we keep shining, we keep working, we keep talking, we keep sharing, we keep communicating. And look what happens on day 17. Wow, suddenly we reached we reached executive. And there's $655 there. Wow! Day 18 comes along, doubles again. $1,300 we're getting now. Oh my goodness, we just made silver. And when I look at silver, $1,300 a month, now I'm getting a nice little supplemental income. I'm going to put away for a college fund for my kids maybe. Maybe I'm just going to blow it on traveling for our family and have a fun vacation that we always dreamed of. Maybe I'll give it to some charities. I have many things I can do with that money now. But I'm going to keep working, keep polishing, keep communicating as a silver, and now look what happens. I get to day 20. I'm moving on my way up to gold. And now look what happens. It keeps compounding again. Oh my goodness, I'm going to platinum, to diamond, to crown diamond. And look at the power of the compounding penny. So when you think about the answer to can I make a living at this, the investment of time that you put in now will compound over time to set yourself up for an amazingly lucrative business. Starting your own business is different from a working income. It is very similar to when you put away for investments. You don't look at it for a while. It compounds over time. So think about this compounding penny as you continue your growth, because when you continue that gut-felt passion over time, your commitment to your purpose is going to pay off in a lucrative portfolio option. The compounding effect is measured by your follow-up. Look at just sharing with one person, and now look at the photograph on the right. That's what your good customer service can giving it to this one person will compound to this many people over time. Isn't that amazing? So if you are a leader who has the vision to see your organization as it can become, you now understand the power of the compounding effect of follow-up over a very short time. So I ask you again, would you take the $1 million up front, or would you take the compounding effect of your organization? Well, I know what we did, and we have been celebrating ever since. Success is neither magical or mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. So I say to you, so what if it takes a year? So what if it takes 3 years? So what if it takes you 7 years? The compounding effect is going to pay off for you big time in the end. Look what can be accomplished in a day. So I ask you, have you made your 2 phone calls today? You can make a living with this business. I want to show you some of the average paychecks of the different ranks. As silver, when you first cross over that finish line, it may be 800, it may be 1,000, it may be 1,500, depends on your organization and how it's set up. Now think about that. Even if it was $800 per month, that's $9,600 per year. Now that's paying off pretty good for your portfolio option, isn't it? But look at the average paycheck of a silver in Young Living is $2,500 average. That's $30,000 a year. That's a beginner teacher salary, you guys. So just by getting to silver is a big payout. But let's move on to gold. An average person earning the rank of gold gets $9,100 average commission per month. And that's before the bonuses. Now, what if you added a bonus or two? I know golds that are making $20,000 plus per month as a gold. Isn't that exciting? So considering the compounding concept, in 3 years' time, would investing your time into your own portfolio be worth it? So what if it took you 5 years? Is $9,000 per month a valuable portfolio source for a residual income? Now let me tell you this is not like Leah Sophia or Cabby Clothes. This is not where you have to go hustle every month. This is residual. This is leveraged income. But the great thing about Young Living is not only are you providing amazing health benefits for wellness, but you have great purpose and abundance. It's awesome. So remember, working part-time with a full-time income is your goal. Let's go back to 2 plus 2 equals 4. Remember the reality, $48,000 earning 5% per year is $200 per month residual income. That means passive income. You can earn this amount the very first month you start with the bonuses. By enrolling people, you can make that much right away. You can also earn that much by just achieving Silver Star, which isn't very difficult. But now let's look at the reality of the economy. You are going to need $600,000 earning 5% per year to equate $2,500 per month residual passive income. Now, what did we just look at? The average silver in Young Living is making $2,500 per month residual income. It's equivalent to $600,000 in the bank. So if you want the equivalent, plan your way to silver and gold, and it's like having $600,000 in the bank. You are building a net worth. Do you realize what that means? The true measure of wealth is net worth, not how much you make in your working income. Well, John Maxwell, one of my favorite business authors, talks about self-discipline. Determine what really is a priority and release yourself from everything else. because we can busy our whole day up. So you gotta prioritize. Develop systems or routines. I always talk about a pattern, a rhythm. Don't complicate this business. It's just something you do again and again, and it becomes part of who you are. It interweaves with your life. It is not extra, except for a little bit of follow-up, which we talked about. You put in those schedule about a half hour every other day. John Maxwell also says challenge and eliminate any tendency to make excuses. Oh, I don't have time. My kids are in all these sports. I have a lot of volunteer work. Oh, I work all day. Well, your life is going to end up like that 5 years from now, and in 10 years you're going to look back and say, why didn't I start this then? So challenge yourself and find just a little bit of time every week, but during the day, interweave it with your life. Stay focused on results instead of how difficult the work is. So that's why your measurement is so important. You need to copy that measurement sheet off that I sent you 4 times. And it's January, so write down the number of people in your organization, the number of people you have enrolled, and your total organizational volume starting in January, and keep track of that, and you will see results. Talent without discipline is like an octopus on roller skates. There's plenty of movement, but you never know if it's going forwards, backwards, or sideways. So focus on your results and not the difficulty of the work. Evaluate and reflect about your actions this past week. I want to ask you, last week, did you do your 5 things to directly grow your organization? Have you literally set the appointments to enroll 1 more person this week? So, today, tomorrow, ask yourself, what 5 things have I done to directly grow my organizational volume or the number of people in my organization? The best time to plant a tree is 25 years ago. The second best time is today. So when are you going to start on your business? Well, we missed the 25 years ago, so the best time to start your business is today. Self-discipline. Plant a pattern in place today. I have the privilege to work with many extraordinary people, and Elizabeth Laliberti is one of my favorite people in the world. She sets the room on a flicker with light as she enters. But she says this, when someone bridges their passion of a product with the knowledge of the compensation plan, real action takes place. You can't help but want to take this to the world. She says she feels so blessed that she was guided to be part of a company that strives to heal her life and the lives of others, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I think you have to agree. So let's repeat for good measure 3 keys for business longevity: enrolling, outrageous customer service, and then equipping others to do the same. So what do I actually do? Immediately after enrolling someone, of course, we get them set up, they've got their products on the way, and it takes 5 to 7 business days for FedEx to get it to them. So meanwhile, as soon as that week is progressing along, I send my letter of introduction, and I have a little cover letter for the trifold brochure that just says these are the 3 keys to health, etc., etc. I fold those two documents up in a letter and it costs me 61 cents. And I put it in the mail. It's a pattern. It's a rhythm. That's what I do for everyone. Right away, that's what I do. I have right now envelopes sitting on my desk ready to be mailed. That sets the tone that you are in business. And even if it is your best friend you are sending the information to, you get that letter of introduction and the trifold brochure in the mail to them with a stamp on it. It sets the tone. Some people like to write a personal thank you at the top. What I do, instead of a separate thank you note, I just write at the top of that my letter of introduction, and I'll say, Sally, thank you so much for your interest in Young Living and your order. It is greatly appreciated. I look forward to serving you. Let me know if you need anything for your specific needs. Thank you so much, Connie McDaniel. Just a very short and sweet personal note. Now, here's the big one. You've got to call that person. You want to make sure that their products arrived, that they opened the box, that they're not afraid to start opening things and trying things and whatever. So I just say something like this. Well, hi, Sally. This is Connie. I'm just doing a courtesy call to make sure you received your product and that everything was to your satisfaction. Have you started using your product? Oh, fantastic. What's your favorite one so far? And then I use some yes questions depending on the conversation. Isn't it exciting? Can you imagine if? And then I'll say to her, well, Sally, I want to drop by a little gift to you and also to show you very quickly how to go onto the Young Living site on your own computer. And it will take less than a half hour. I know you're very busy, but is Monday or Tuesday good for you? Oh, fantastic. What time would be good? Now, the reason I do that, everyone, is because now, look what I did. I sent the letter. I made a very quick courtesy phone call. And now what I'm doing is I'm setting up my appointment for that coming week so that I get a reason to go and see her. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that trifold brochure again and get her ready with the 3 keys to health. And I'm going to ask her, what's your next step on your health journey? Remember that from last week? And that way she's going to place her second order so that you can get that 15% off that second order. So, going to meet your new person. So now you need to develop your first script for your own. And you need to have it adaptable. But again, like I'm saying now, you want to focus on the 3 keys to health. And that's got to bring passion to your heart because it gives people total lifestyle. So the stronger your feelings about this, the more effective you will be. So when you go in there, if Sally has already started with the Thieves Kit, that's exciting. She's making a difference to her family. She's greening her entire life. Now you say to her, Sally, what's your next step in your health journey? Are you most interested in creating a healthy medicine chest or filling nutritional gaps? Oh, awesome. Well, let me show you how you can do that right online by yourself. Let me walk you through this on the computer just so you can see. The stronger your feelings, the more effective you will be. Remember that. Look at the faces of these Olympic champions. Now there's passion. There's strong feeling. That's what you need to be feeling in your gut about the 3-pronged approach to Young Living. Okay, so now you're going to go visit your first person. Now remember, this is how I do it. This is the rhythm and the pattern that works for me and my lifestyle. You, being your own CEO, get to decide what's going to fit you best, what's going to create rhythm. But notice, the style I'm showing you is what's been effective for me to consistently enroll 4 new people a month on an average. So what I'm sharing with you is what has worked very well, but that does not mean it's the only way to do that. And I hope you understand that. You want to develop your own rhythm, your own style. And so as I look at this first follow-up now, kind of think of the strategies that I'm putting into place here. It gives me an excuse to go see them, give them a little bit more of personal follow-up, because my goal is to have this person intrinsically knowing the benefits of these oils, because after that 4 to 5 weeks of personal follow-up, they're going to be independent. And I'm just going to touch base with them once in a while. So to build that intrinsic value and let them know that they're important to you, this is why I take the time to do this, because it builds your longevity. So I hope you all know the importance of personalized, outrageous customer service. So here it is, the second time I go face-to-face with that person. I told her I was bringing a little gift. I like to give the Aromatherapy Home Remedies A to Z book. That costs, around $10. I'm going to be making $53 at least on my Star Performance bonus. So I feel that that's an adequate gift. They feel special. It lets them read testimonies to stir interest. So it's a wonderful little gift, but there's many other things you can do as well. So you bring the little gift. You are also showing them how to order their next order. You're showing them the trifold brochure again, and you're reminding them again about the 3 keys to health. And remember that question, which of these is your next step? At this time, you're also going to share with them the benefits of the essential rewards. Now, some leaders do that their very first appointment. I choose to do it the second appointment. It doesn't matter. It all works. And the point is that you share it. So if you're most comfortable doing it during the first session with them, great. If it's most comfortable for you the second session, that's great too. But there's some benefits of the essential rewards, and I love sharing about the essential rewards. Now remember, your job is only to share about it. As a consumer, they choose if it fits them. If it doesn't fit them, it doesn't matter. But I always say this, we are in the healthy living business, not the sick people business. We want people focused on striving for vibrant health. And so realize that the essential rewards is a gift, because for individuals who are truly understanding the concept of investing in their health, the Essential Rewards program rewards them. That's why it's called Essential Rewards. They get flat rate shipping, and they get a percentage back on their purchases. So you will impact people's lives profoundly by teaching them to invest in themselves. It will literally change their life 10 years from now. Health is a gift that we must discipline and encourage one another to commit to each and every day. Let's take a look at that gift of essential rewards. You earn points with each order, and the rewards increase over time. This is what's so profound about this. The first 6 consecutive months someone's on essential rewards, they get 10% back in credits per month. Dollar for dollar credits. This is what's so amazing. The second consecutive 6 months, it goes to 15% back. And that's 50 credits per month. So that's a lot. And then from after a year, it goes to 20% back. I do not know any business or any mall retail store that you can get 20% back off of your products. It's amazing. And the most important part when you talk to this person on your second visit is ask for referrals. So after I get done sharing what's your next step, oh, let me show you how to work that. Well, you know, Sally, the best way to do that is Essential Rewards. You get 10% back, and you go through all of that, and then you say, well, Sally, do you know anyone who would value this information as well? Ask for referrals. Okay, so now we leave, and the days, a few more days goes by, and it goes into the next week. So now I want to ask this person, what were their interest areas? And you would know this from the very first conversation you had with them. So what I might do is if I've been talking to Sally, and let's say she's been really struggling with fatigue, I want to share some information with her about that. Or if it's about arthritis, which is one that's very common, maybe you're going to send them a very specific CD about that. Ron Lawrence, who's a medical doctor, talks about the power meal and the sulfurzyme. That would be a good CD to have. Or it could be on the Ningxia Red. It could be some testimonies about people with energy. Anything that matches their interest areas, because then they're going to know that you were really listening to them. And so in my office, I have little folders that I've collected over the years. So if somebody has a very specific problem or a concern or a goal, I copy off the pages from whatever resource books I have, and I keep it in a file, and so that I give them a copy, but then I keep one in case somebody else ever has that. So it's a very nice way to personalize their interest areas. Also, focus your attention or your intention on solving problems for that person. And some people might need you to do a little research for them. So that's where you might contact your upline. You might look at through some resource books that you've collected over time, etc. Your goal is to begin building their intrinsic value to investing in their health. Now, why do I say intrinsic? Because you want to build longevity. You don't want to be running around like the Avon lady and running around like a chicken every month to try and do this business. You want to do it right the first time, serve those people well, so that you build the longevity and the independence needed to sustain your organization. And please don't complicate the follow-up. Just do something. There's no right or wrong way. Do something. The most important thing you can do, though, is courtesy calls. Say it. I'm just doing a courtesy call. That's all you have to say. If they have a problem, be the problem solver. Get them good information. Or if let's say there's something that's not correct in their order, you pick up the phone and do the customer service to help them make that order correct. And that way they feel very important that you're helping them. The other thing that's fun to share with people is stories from other people. You can send that email, but I want to share with you the importance of doing personal follow-up just for 4 to 5 weeks after. You'll find that it will really build momentum for you. Remember, it's important to do immediately handle any of those problems or issues. Continue their education. Yes, you can do that via email, but do some personal things too. And the most important things is sharing those promotions or the things that are valuable each month. It's very exciting to do that. Create a marketing mindset. Always be generating ideas and think about target markets. There's a gazillion of them out there. Target market. And you might change your target market every week. One week it might be moms with preschool children. The next week it might be golfers. The week after that it may be somebody else. But focus on target markets. And I can't express this enough, it's so important to find a friend or a colleague to be your accountability partner. Meet for tea every Monday morning or something, or call each other on the phone, uh, or whatever it is. But ask each other, what 5 things did I do today to directly grow my business? And it can be as simple as I gave my essential oil desk reference to my colleague. That's one thing. That's great. Now, many people ask me about my calendar. And my calendar, I have kind of a basic flow to my calendar, but that doesn't mean it always works out that way. But I have my little targets each day. And very generally on Mondays, I look at the last month of the new people that I need to call. I need to call about the product. I might need to call to see if everything's going well with them or if they have questions. And I also need to schedule a follow-up. Now, many of my contacts are long distance, so I can't personally run over to their house, but I can contact them by phone. And you can't believe the friendships that you can develop on the phone. And they are truly long-lasting friendships. I have some of my dearest friends with Young Living. But on Monday is the day that I set my schedule for the week, and I have my little targets for that week. But Monday is also the day that I do start my calling. Tuesday, I typically take a little bit of the morning to do a brainstorming session and ask myself, what is going to be my commercial of the week? What customer campaign am I going to implement? And so you may want to think about that too. On Wednesdays, I typically stuff my letters of introduction and the trifold brochure for any new enrollees. And that might be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. You know, it depends on the month. But it's something I'm in a habit of doing. Now, notice that did not take me the whole day. That just took me the first 15 minutes of my day. On Thursdays, I have to remember that I have new people from a couple months ago. They still need nurturing. So I might be combining something with that customer campaign. For everyone, I may be combining some personalized things for their interest areas during that second and third week. But every person is a little bit different. So maybe you're going to mail something. Maybe you're going to drop something by. Maybe you're going to send a little note saying you are really appreciated. Maybe, you know, whatever it is. But plan your next steps. Friday is usually a catch-up day for me, and if everything goes right, it may be a day where I take the afternoon off. But one thing I do is I am in the habit of making 2 phone calls a day. And that is so important, and that's your most effective means of growing your business. It can be to a new leader, and it can be a coaching call where you're helping equip them. It can be touching base with a new account. It can be connecting with a leader. It could be somebody who needs assistance. You could do a number of different things, but every day make 2 phone calls. Now, example of a weekly schedule. Please notice that these tasks take minimal time. So what am I doing the rest of the time? Remember how we said that Young Living interweaves with your life? That schedule that I had on my calendar, that should be very minimal. You know, half hour. Now, if I choose as your organization grows, I also plan a half hour to answer emails, and sometimes that takes me an hour because there's so many. And I do them in order. So if I don't get back to you immediately, you know that it was a very busy day. But I try and do that right away so that you get immediate feedback. But What do you do the rest of your time? Be involved. Be involved. You can go biking, sporting events, go to lunch with people, community meetings, volunteering, committees, trips, book club, your colleagues at work, wherever you are, interweave it with your life. Because all of these places are where you can visit, you can meet, and you can talk to people. The best way to grow this organization is not via the internet. It is talking to people. It's a relationship business. So follow-up appointments can be done at their home, at my home, you can meet for breakfast, you can prospect as you're doing a volunteering activity. Interweave your actions with your life. Make Young Living a part of who you are. And then there are days when the schedule just doesn't work at all and life happens. And believe me, there are days I look like that. But let's take a look at customer campaigns. This is your commercial of the week. And these are really fun. I love brainstorming the commercial of the week. So, what commercial will you design this week to stir interest, to increase the ordering in your organization? Always be thinking of excuses to touch base with people. That's the most powerful type of marketing you can do. So let me give you some examples of a customer campaign. Now remember, these are just examples of what I do. Be creative. In Guerrilla Marketing 100 Tactics, there's other ideas for you to implement as well. And you can get that book at www.crowndiamondtools.com. But one thing I love to do is mail out or drop off a Essentials for Wellness CD. And I happen to like number 11. It's about the essential oils. And I also like the one about the Sulfurzyme and Power Meal. And I love the one by Tom Reed, who's also a medical doctor, the Core Essential ones. And so look at your different websites, ylwisdom.com, crowndiamondtools.com, youngliving.com. There's all sorts of valuable resources for you. But what I always do is I include a cover letter emphasizing that what's in it for them, why is it important, and then to please pass it on and share with someone else. And so now you have an excuse to call them and ask if they've listened to it or if they got their package or whatever it is. And then as you're talking and they say what they like the best, then say, do you have a friend that you can think of that may find this valuable? Could you pass that along to them? Courtesy calls about a special promotion or a special interest area, or courtesy calls about an upcoming webinar, a class, anything that stirs interest or excitement. Mail out or drop off a brochure with a cover letter, and make sure you always include stories, because facts tell, stories sell. The stories are the most important thing to use. Get together with other leaders. Divide up calling with your strongest leaders and make calls with a little mini commercial. Maybe it's about a new product or a special promotion going out or an upcoming webinar or an upcoming class that's coming in your area, whatever it is. Send them a letter with a note saying to order their free DVD, perhaps, the Wellness, Purpose, and Abundance DVD. Or it could be a women's issue one, or weight loss, whatever one you recorded. Or maybe it's your favorite one that you ordered. Maybe it's the Ningxia Red one. But tell them that they can get it free if they contact you. That way it gives them a little reason for taking some action. And then you're actually spending your money on people who really want it. Send a letter to the long-time Essential Rewards customers, thanking them. Because what a lot of people do is they see that their customers are on Essential Rewards, and then they think they're a given. Never take for granted your loyal, beautiful Essential Reward orders. Please take the time to call them. Take the time to thank them. Take the time to tell them how much they're appreciated. At the end of the year, if they have been on Essential Rewards all year and they're your own personal enrolled people, maybe give them a little special gift at the end of the year and tell them how much you appreciate them, or take them to lunch if they're in your area. Maybe you want to send out a distributor reactivation letter this month to everyone who has gone inactive. That's a great customer campaign too. But the most effective follow-up is the actual conversation. Don't forget that. Spend a lot of time talking to your customers face-to-face. You'd be amazed how many companies don't listen to their customers. Get in the habit of 2 phone calls per day. It takes only minutes, but the return on that investment is profound. Gifts or promotions. Young Living has monthly promotions happening. Get excited to make some courtesy calls to make sure they have heard about them. The Aromatherapy A to Z book costs anywhere from $10 to $13 depending on how many you order, and it's a wonderful gift. The Thieves Hand Sanitizer is very inexpensive and a nice little gift as a good gesture of just thinking of you. If you're wanting someone to reactivate, or it might be a good excuse to give to somebody who's in, for example, like a teacher or something to stir interest, or somebody in the healthcare profession. Okay, another question that comes up is how much of your budget should be spent on marketing? Because if you're doing ads or anything like that, that can start running up into the hundreds of dollars. So we always suggest use 10% of your present Young Living paycheck, and that's your budget on marketing. So for example, if you are an executive and you're getting a commission of $530, your marketing budget for that month should be $53. Postage is expensive, but it's a good bang for your buck. Phone calls with a thought-out intention is the best bang for your buck, and it's free, basically. MarketingSense.com is a time saver. I like to use this after the 4th personal follow-up so that this person continues getting information and it appears to be personally from me because it has their name on it. And that's only $19.95 per month. But make sure it fits within your budget. You don't want to overspend your budget. Another 5 to 10% of your commission budget should go back into your business as professional growth or personal growth. The power of you. Leaders are readers. You've got to invest in yourself. One of the things that may get in the way of people being lifelong learners is that they're not in touch with their passion. If you're passionate about what it is you do, then you're going to be looking for everything you can do to get better at it. Okay, for those of you just starting, this little piece may not be of interest to you yet, so I don't want anyone being overwhelmed. But for when you begin enrolling people, you're going to set into motion your customer campaigns. And if you remember from session 1, you're going to tell every customer about the business. And you're going to say, this may or may not be for you, but let me show you how this business works in case you have referrals. Okay, so then as you begin to grow your organization, suddenly there may be another person who wants to do the business with you. So what do? Well, the first thing you want to do is share this foundational training with them. The 4 hours that we have been through with you now, you're going to repeat and teach to others. And then after they do the foundational training so that they have a foundation, then you might implement a leadership campaign yourself. And even if you only have 2 people, you still get in the habit of doing a leadership campaign. Well, what's a leadership campaign? That's part of the budget for investing in yourself or in your business. And when you invest in your business, you invest in people. So what Michael and I like to do is invest into people. So a lot of our leaders, I like to send things to them to help them with their own personal growth as they're beginning to grow their organizations to silver. So a really nice CD to send them is from CrownDiamondTools.com, and it's the Jim Rohn CD. It's a wonderful business CD that you will find valuable. Any Success Magazine is an excellent leadership campaign gesture. I like to send the history report quarterly along with the tracking sheet from the Vicki Opfer program, YL Family, and that is an excellent way of helping people to see the results of their outrageous customer service. I also like to send articles that I have found valuable. I sometimes do that via the snail mail, but a lot of times I'll send that through the emails as well. Books or CDs that build a mindset or leadership. As I said before, I love John Maxwell's books. I love the Jim Rohn training. T. Harv Eker is a good one. I like those type of personal growth books, but they're also professional growth books as well. Now, the last thing I want to share is that once you have your pattern, your foundational pattern established, and please make sure you have a strong foundation, you've got a little bit of a rhythm going, you've got a pattern going, and you're consistently enrolling at least 1 or 2 people, and you're getting results, then take the time and you can go to other training. But what happens to so many new people, they're doing this training and they're doing that training and they're doing this training and they're doing that training. Well, they get totally confused because they don't have a foundation and they don't know where to start. So I always like to share, start with just a basic, simple foundation. If you want to become a powerhouse, then go from there and get all the other training, but make sure you stay true to your foundation. And by doing this foundational training, you're not going to get burned out. You're going to have fun growing your organization. You're going to love growing your organization, and other people, it will look attractive to them. Because if you're looking like that cat in the few slides back, I wouldn't want to do that business if that's how I'm going to look. I want to have a business that's going to bless me with the time for my family, time to have fun. I want to work strategically. I want to work and serve people well, but I also want to be blessed with the time that it gives me, and that's what leveraged income and compounding effect will give me. I want to work part-time and earn a quadruple salary. Building new up-and-coming leaders. You've got to do follow-up with those leaders. If someone says, I want to do this business, you got to know what to do. You need to know how to equip them. Well, again, I have sent you all the PowerPoints, but I am getting the website set up, the training website for you. So I'll be sending that announcement in the email. But to use this training as your foundation, and then after each session, you begin that 4-week coaching time with them. They can go through one session, then you're going to coach. Go through the next session, set their goals, then you're going to coach. Just for 4 weeks. Now think of the power of that. Now you're going to have 2 people doing what you do, and then maybe they will find another. Pretty soon now you have 3 people doing what you're doing. So what's really interesting and very amazing is that exponential growth begins to grow. And the more the exponential growth factor takes off, the more time you are rewarded to live your own extraordinary life. So help this up-and-coming leader find their niche. Focus on that person so they can get their 6, they can get motivated in their heart, they can just go with it, and they get their own rhythm, their own pattern of success, and off they go. Now they're independent. See what I mean by focusing that 4 weeks on either your wholesale and retail customers or focusing those 4 personalized weeks on your leaders? You're going to take off. And that what has helped us make that amazing growth jump over the last 2 years. And remind everyone to practice. You have to practice the dialogue. If you practice effective dialogue, your ratio is going to be much higher than it is if you have to keep practicing and practicing and practicing and floundering through. And don't forget to ask for referrals. You have to practice asking. Practice your presentation. Remember this photograph? A great team is always greater than the sum of its parts. Connect with your team. Demonstrate a let's do it together mindset. Your job as a leader is to create harmony within your organization. We need to work together. It's important to assist and equip up-and-coming leaders. It is a fact that in the right formation, the lifting power of many wings can achieve twice the distance of any bird flying alone. Now, if that doesn't give you goosebumps, you need to set a fire under your feet, because that is an amazing statement. Assist each person who shows an interest in the business to find their niche. Begin their very first target market. And look at all the target markets out there. It is so much fun. It can be athletes. It can be animal lovers. It can be massage therapists. It can be lake association people. It can be people who wish to make a life change. It can be financial planners. It can be anyone. Remind up-and-coming leaders about prospecting. How do you find contacts? There are 3 simple ways of sharing. Before jumping into teaching classes, practice sharing with people first and learn as much as you can through your own training if you are a new person in the business. But one-on-ones are so fun to share, or with a group of 2 or 3. Then you can jump into the larger classes. Focus your intention on encouraging steps to vibrant health and solving problems rather than getting sales. We are not in the sales business. We are in helping people to have vibrant health business. Your job is to educate. Consumers choose. Get your focus off yourself and start focusing your intention on helping people to strive to vibrant health, and you will be blessed many times over. 81% of all sales will happen on or after the 5th contact. So don't give up on that person. If you ran into somebody at a meeting or whatever and they looked at you like, huh? Keep talking to them. It's on the fifth contact that they may have the light bulb go on. Make notes so you can refer to something spoken about in a previous conversation. That's very important. Sharing with prospects. These are new people. Let's say I went to a community meeting, and I actually did that yesterday, and I visited with a few people because the question always comes up, what do you do? So as we begin to visit, it kind of tweaks their interest, and I just tell them enough so that you don't want to fire hose anybody. So I ended the day with 3 people that I'm going to drop CDs off to and the essential oil desk reference, and then I'm going to go over there and pick it up. So that's how you share with new prospects. So just get involved in your communities. Maybe do a volunteer thing, whatever it is, but get involved and you'll meet new people all over the place. I have yet to run out of a warm market. But you can give them stories, you can set up appointments, you can invite them to an interesting webinar. The secret to getting people to attend. So let's say that you are going to invite someone to a webinar, or let's say that you are going to invite them to a local class. How do you get them to show up? What many people do is they send them an email and then they just think that they're going to have 30 people show up. That's not how it works. So, do you know what to do so that people show up? Well, it takes multiple exposures. So, the first thing you want to do is send a personal invitation. The second thing you want to do is make a personal phone call and say, I'm just doing a courtesy call. I wanted to make sure that you saw the invitation. There's a webinar coming up on, whatever day it is, or there's a class on weight loss coming up here next week, or whatever it is. And then you want to send another email and possibly another call to remind them that night, and then maybe even offer them a ride. But you've got to do multiple exposures. And I'll tell you what, the personal phone call is what gets them there because they feel an obligation to you. Okay, let's look at ways to expand how we meet people. Well, social involvement's very important. Community involvement, volunteering, sporting events, we've mentioned those before. But you want to develop that system, a rhythm, a pattern. And then the key question is if you've done it right, you want to create a very independent organization. Everyone who is interested in the business has to think of themselves as their own CEO. And for each of us leaders, we have to allow that to happen. They are their own CEOs of their own company. So our job is only to encourage, to support, to help train. And so the question is, can your organization go on without you, or are they so dependent on you that as soon as you stop, everyone else stops? If that happens, you've got a problem. You want to ask, can my organization go on without you? Because that's the reason you build a network marketing company, because it's for security. So if my father got sick enough tomorrow where I had to go and physically take care of him day after day, I know for sure that I have strong leaders who will carry on the passion to serve people well. And believe me, I will come back and do my part of pulling the wagon. But meanwhile, you want to build your organization for that security. You don't know what will happen in the future. So encourage weekly action. Let's do it together. If you see real commitment from somebody, real focus, real determination in a new leader, Meet them halfway. Now, you don't do it for them, but you assist them with their contacts. The faster you assist your new leader to that $500 a month, the more motivated they are going to be to teach others to do the same. So, study your compensation plan. Now, I'm going to touch on this very briefly because I want to come to a close here, but I will do a specific webinar on this comp plan so that we get more details to that. But as a brand new leader, the only thing you need to focus on right away is to share your love of the 3 keys to health to your new people. And by doing that, if they enroll with a premium starter kit, you are going to get the Start Living Enrollment Kit bonus of $25, and I call that the thank you bonus. And you're going to get 25%. Do you see this right here, Star Performance bonus, right here, Star Performance? You're going to get 25% of that order. So for example, if someone orders the essential oil kit, that collection is $150. It includes the $40 to set up the wholesale account. So the PV is $115. So you get about $53, $25 from the Start Living enrollment bonus and 25% of that first order. Now, what happens if they only do the $40 kit and buy the Raindrop kit? That's okay too. You don't get the Start Living thank you bonus, but you still get the 25%. And then as you see here, the 15%, that's the second month order. That's why you go back and say, now what's the second step you would like to focus on, Sally, on your journey to vibrant health? And if you focus on just those 2 things alone, you're going to set yourself up to get that Start Living and Star Performance bonus each month. Okay, then you see this matching bonus here? If Sally gets so excited and she says, Connie, my friend Mary wants to know a little bit more. Can you help me talk to Mary? My answer is yes, I will. Because let's say now Sally enrolls Mary. What happens then is I get a matching bonus of $25 to because I was assisting Sally within that 3 months of her starting with Young Living. And in order for me to do that, of course, I need to be on 100 PV Essential Rewards order to get the matching bonus. But to get the Start Living and the Star Performance bonus, you don't have to. Young Living gives you that bonus as a thank you. Very, very generous. And if you go on Distributor Resources, you can look at the highlights and read all of the definitions, and someone can go over that for you. But as I said, we will be recording a training on that. We're going to talk a little bit about the structure bonus momentarily, but we're going to start wrapping up here. But do you want to get better results? Be the sponsor that goes beyond expectations. Poor service is why attrition happens and interest wanes away from the beautiful products that we have. You got to build that intrinsic value. So if you ever fall off the face of the earth, your customers, both wholesale and retail, and your leaders know the value of continuing without you. I just want to mention the structure for those of you that are just starting. This is another way. If you look at your distributor resources in your virtual office and print off the compensation plan highlights, you will see a definition for the distributor team bonus as well. And very basically, you see there's 6 people on your front line. Now you can have 8 people, you can have 10 people. But in any given month, you need 6 people on 100 PV Essential Rewards. And by doing that, you get the $100 bonus. Now, as you move on, you see that with 18 distributors on the $100 PV Essential Rewards, you're going to get a $500 bonus, and you can move up to the $2,000 bonus. Now, I'm not going to take all the time tonight because we have to move on, but I want you to study that and ask your upline. And you can also call Young Living to get the details of that, but that structure is very important, and that's paid each and every month. And that's what's going to sustain you until you get the leveraged income built to silver, to gold, to platinum, to diamond. Do you see the intensity of the water coming down off of this waterfall? It has amazing power. Well, that's the power that the intensive power you want to feel with your focus. You want to put concentrated energy into assisting your 6. And by building intrinsic value for health with those 6, and then you equip and assist those, then you begin asking for referrals. Who do they know? And what happens is generally you end up with 2 people that are just so passionate, and they become interested in making a difference to their friends and family too. And then when that happens, you encourage and you support and you put all that concentrated energy into helping them get their 6. And you also do that for that other person. Now you've got a structure going like this. So you get your 6, and now let's say Sally gets excited. She starts filling in her structure of 6. And let's say Jules starts her structure of 6. Now remember, these are people on $100 PV Essential Rewards because they know the value of investing in their health monthly. You get rewarded for that. And that's just a way of Young Living saying thank you for setting up a good structure. But now remember, you don't have to have this structure to get paid on your unilevel pay or your starter kit bonuses. That's a separate. Don't you love it? You have all these different bonuses as your unilevel. That's your longevity grows. Isn't that amazing? So get out your circles, draw your plan, and now look at what you're doing currently. What is your current paycheck? How much money do you need for that to equal your present salary? You can figure this out. Plan out your circles, figure it out, and build that residual income so you can be doing what you really want to do. Imagine choosing what you want to do for the day. That's the joy that I have found in this business, is that I can work part-time and enjoy my life the rest of the time. And what was so fun is I was traveling here and there, and I was able to run my business from anywhere as long as I had my laptop and my phone, and people didn't even know I was gone. Isn't that fun? This Celebrating Women magazine, if you order that and turn to page 25, it will give you 6 tips for how to build your business from the ground up. It's a great magazine. Commit. The definition says to devote oneself unreservedly. Do you feel your cause so deeply in your soul that you are willing to give 100% of everything you've got to fulfill your intention? Do you feel your cause so deeply that you are determined to hold nothing back? Commitment, it separates the doers from the dreamers. The power of focus. Would you want a gynecologist to do your eye surgery? Let me give you another example. If you had a gift and a passion for cross-country skiing and you were striving to be in the Olympics, is there any value into doing all the skiing events to increase the odds of your success? Of course not. There is value in specialists. Think of yourself as a young living specialist. Focus on one business that brings not only wellness but purpose in your life. That will make you successful. Passion will always outperform anyone with talent. Say no to the good and yes to the best. Don't be one of those people who is in like 3 or 4 different things. You'll never be successful. Focus on the business that brings passion in your heart. And for me, that is young living. People desire to do business with someone who focuses with one thing. They want to do business with specialists. There's value in being a specialist. Some closing thoughts. There is higher purpose in what we do, but creating lucrative options allows generosity to bloom. Now think about it. What does it take to feed people? What does it take to build hospitals, churches, homes? What does it take to support missions, charities, medical benefits? Are you getting the picture? Money. When we're successful, we can help other people be successful, and we have money to give away. If we come from a point of poverty, everybody stays that way. If we are successful, we come from a means of being able to give and support. So maybe a side purpose for building financial success goes well beyond wellness, goes beyond purpose, and maybe beyond abundance. The abundance you build will be able to support not only your family, but stretch beyond to support and invest in others. Your candle loses nothing when it lights another. The slight edge. Do you have the slight edge? It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. Stay tuned. Next lesson, session 4, becoming a CEO. Does philosophy matter? No matter how great your aspirations, how tall the dream, and how great the leap, success is always built of small, simple steps, easy to do, but just as easy not to do. Do you have the slight edge? The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. We hope to challenge you. Whose life will you change today? Your homework. Follow up with your newly enrolled person by sending them a letter of introduction and the trifold brochure with the 3 Keys to Health cover letter. Think about what you want for your commercial of the week, your customer campaign. You are the CEO of your business. You decide. Enroll 1 more new person this week. That means you need to speak to 10 people somewhere, somehow, some way. Practice your yes questions. Can you imagine? Wouldn't it be awesome if? Oh my goodness, those yes questions are powerful. Practice yes questions and the clear call to action so you can become more effective. Dedicate yourself to outrageous customer service and experience the compounding effects of your results. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life that you've always imagined. Good night, everyone. Please stay tuned for part 4, The Slight Edge. Good night, everyone. Thank you.